Hey, what's up? This is Mike from College Talk TV. Right now we've got special footage of 2004 presidential hopeful Howard Dean on the campaign trail at the University of Charleston. College Talk was right there to capture Dean's speech and later got a chance to ask him a few questions. Let's see what went down.
It's not that people your age don't care about politics, it's that people your age don't see any reason to be in American politics today because both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have forgotten about young people in this country, and that is what's going to change in this campaign. Tell me what your college tuitions did in the last 2.5 years. Tell me what your parents' property taxes did in the last 2.5 years. The South Carolina State Legislature cut, and David didn't vote for this, cut $70 million out of the public school system in this state in order to balance the budget because George Bush's failed economic policies haven't saved us any jobs. They cost us jobs, 93,000 more jobs lost. We need jobs in this country. Again, Mr. President, we're not going to get them by giving our taxpayer money away to people like Ken Lay at the Boys and the boys who run Enron and cutting. You have the power to change this country. You have the power to take back this party and make it stand for something again. You have the power to give the 50% of Americans who've given up on voting a reason to vote again. You have the power to take back the Democratic Party and make it stand for the core principles of decency and jobs and the real family values and health care for all Americans and education that kids can afford and a strong K-12 system so people can get to college and investing in early childhood so people can learn in schools again. You have the opportunity to do those things.
My name is Kevin Perryman. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I want to know about like the education system because in Georgia we had the lowest SATs or whatever, and I'm a college student. And I also wanted to know, it's kind of like two questions, but I just wanted to know how, since I live in the dorms or whatever, they say I was too well off to get financial aid, but I know me and I know my family, we still struggling, and I barely have money to eat sometimes, and I'm like, how am I too rich? And then they raise the prices again. It seems like they raise them every year. How would you go
How are we going to deal with this? This is an important thing for you to have said here, and I hope that everybody heard what he said. Because this is the consequence of $3 trillion worth of tax cuts and interest rates for an interest borrowers. One of the guys running against me is beating me up because he says we shouldn't get rid of the whole tax cut, we should save the middle class tax cuts. The truth is that the reason people don't vote in this country is they don't believe politicians. And the reason they don't believe politicians is because politicians are always saying you're going to have tax cuts, you're going to have Pell Grants, you're going to have education, you're going to have health care, just like me, you can have everything you want. It isn't true. You have a choice. You can either get rid of the tax cuts and have a decent opportunity for people like you to go through college without starving every other day, or we can keep the middle class tax cuts. We can get rid of the tax cuts and have health insurance for every single American, or we can keep the president's tax cuts. We can get rid of the tax cuts and have a balanced budget and jobs in this country again, or we can get rid of the tax cuts. The middle class in this country never got the tax cuts. Whatever check